I want to welcome the GMs and the wives, the godly men and the warm, inviting, feminine, empathetic women out there. So, I want to make a video on how the devil is going to try to rob you of your destiny. It's become more and more clear to me over the last few weeks that sometimes you just cannot get through something and you can't really overcome the thing that you need to overcome unless you face it and confront it. You cannot confront something and get nowhere, right? Whenever you confront any kind of issue or any kind of problem in your life, there's going to be a situation in which you're going to overcome, or you're going to be able to guide yourself toward the light in a more proper fashion, let's say. And the reason for this video altogether is that I've had myself some things going on in the background and behind the scenes where it's like the devil's trying to distract me from placing these different obstacles, whether it's temptation or whether it's just obstacles in certain kind of like technological things, like certain things going on with the computer, or with the phone, or with a flash drive, or just little things that just seem to keep coming up. And I've determined that it's because I'm on the right path. I'm on the path that is leading to the promised land, to where I need to go, to my vision. I am actively creating my reality with God. And the devil doesn't really like that, right? The devil does not really like that you are someone that is capable of making a positive change in your life and not letting the obstacles that you're facing get in your way. This is going to be something that the devil really does not want to have you overcome, because if you overcome these things, that means that you're actually going to be empowered to prosper. Imagine giving yourself the opportunity to be proud of the work that you've done on the other side. You might think to yourself, man, I don't know if I've ever felt proud of myself in my life. And if you're that kind of person, if you are in that kind of headspace, this is the right channel for you, because you're going to get the insight necessary to actually build your internal confidence and build your internal opportunities within yourself to see the greater impact that you can make in this life. I know for the longest time, since I was very young, I always resonated most with the heroes in all of like the superhero movies I watched, or just like Gandalf, for example. I really felt Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings. Gandalf or Obi-Wan in Star Wars. I felt like I connected to the characters that were going through a sorrowful time, but accumulated a lot of wisdom along the way. And in many ways, life can be like a movie. In fact, life is very interesting. Like, have you looked around? This world is pretty cool. And it's filled with a lot of weird stuff going on. And all I'm saying when I'm out and about in the community or here on this channel, all I'm saying is, hey, can we look at reality again? Like, can we look at what's actually going on around us? Can we actually look at and feel what's actually going on within ourselves again? There was a time when this kind of stuff was really prevalent in our society, and it seems like we've just completely gotten away from that altogether in many ways and shapes and forms. And so I, in many ways, wanted to be a hero of my own life, because I was someone that came from a traumatic background. I was someone that came from a place where God and love was really not something I knew about. And so growing up, it always felt like there was something trying to actively hold me back. And I knew that at certain points in my spiritual journey, when I started this spiritual path over 5 years ago, I knew there were certain points where I was like, I love myself. I want to be better for myself. I want to be better for my family down the line. I want to build something that is everlasting, because I know what it's like to just be super involved with materialism, to be super involved with all of these things that really just don't get you anywhere. And the reason that a lot of the times materialism doesn't get you anywhere is because you're not actually confronting that which you need to confront in order to grow to the place that you need to. And so I decided that I wanted to be someone that was going to be able to actively confront uncomfortable situations. I knew that being uncomfortable was going to be something that I had to do. And sometimes I had to just speak the truth as I saw it. And whatever happens, happens. Because ultimately, if we are encouraging each other to live in a delusion, we're not encouraging people to live in the truth. We're encouraging people to live a lie. And so if we encourage each other to live a lie, well, what makes us think that we're not just lying to ourselves? And this is something that the devil wants. The devil wants you to lie to yourself. The devil wants you to look at the matrix and you just see that it's something that is pleasurable to you. And pleasurable to the flesh and not to the spirit. Joy is something that you get from the spirit, right? So joy is something that you get from your connection with God. Enthusiasm, the root word, right, is actually derived from the Latin term meaning to be with God and to be filled with God. That is the root word of enthusiasm. That's what it means. So to have enthusiasm about life, the devil doesn't want you to be enthusiastic about the spirit, about joy, about prosperity. The devil wants you to sell your soul for the world. And when you realize that you really don't need to sell your soul in order to live a fulfilling life, this is going to be what is absolutely life-changing to you. Because I had the opportunity to sell my soul when I was 24, and I'm 27 now. So this is like 3 years ago. I had the opportunity to take a job a couple hours away from where I currently live, and it would be more than double what I'm getting now. But I would have had to get the jab. I would have had to get that thing. And I decided that I would be a man that stood on his principles, and I said no. I said no. And so I stuck with the job that I had at the time. And I knew at that moment that I was making a big leap of faith, because I don't know if I was ever going to get that kind of money ever again. I had no clue if I was ever going to get that kind of money ever. But now in hindsight, that was a scarcity mindset. That was a scarcity mindset because I didn't believe that I could create something like that on my own. And I thought that I could just try something else. And, I used to think that if I just try my best and I do what I can, that's going to be enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. And I've realized this as of recently, that you really just have to go all in all the time with life. You can't, of course you need to recover. Like if you're working out and you have your nutrition in mind, you've got to recover properly. You've got to be able to eat nutritional things, and you got to be able to get to where you need to go. And you've got to make sure that your ducks are in a row. But you've got to make sure that you're also going all in when you're doing these things. Because the devil wants you to be half in and half out. Because if you're half in and half out, that means that you're giving yourself room to not fully commit. And if you're not fully committing in this life, it's going to be very, very challenging for you to actually get anything that you want to have done and that you want to see set into fruition actually be in fruition. So, with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful and inspirational to some degree. And peace be with you. Till next time.